North Carolina's Outer Banks do expect to see tropical storm conditions before the sun goes down today. It's what people here have been preparing for the last several days. We know that evacuation orders have already been executed, really, as you look at Hatteras Island and Ocracoke Island along the Outer Banks here. And the expectation is that the waves you see behind me will continue to increase in ferocity and increase in size as the day goes on into tonight, when we also expect to see some rainfall, and into tomorrow as well. We know that the storm surge expectation is about 2 to 4 feet in this area. There's also a risk of coastal flooding really extending from South Florida all the way up to the Boston area. So any parts of the eastern seaboard can expect to see much more wave action and potentially flooding, more so than they might expect under these sorts of conditions, when we know that this large hurricane is still far out to sea. It's 400 or so miles plus maybe from the North Carolina coast at this point, but it's going to get a little bit closer, and that's when we expect to see potentially waves that could reach 15 or 20 feet in height. The warning for everybody is to stay away from the water, not just to stay out of the water as you look at all these different places along the East Coast. The advisory is to just stay away from the water, because it could push onto beaches or oceanfront property very quickly, and officials here are warning folks not to get too close and put their lives at risk. They've also warned people to, as early as possible, check their property to make sure that things are secured for any water that may come farther inland. Those are the warnings set out right now. We know there are people on Hatteras Island here in North Carolina who've chosen to stay and ride out the storm. If the major highway there does wash out, some of those people are likely to be stuck potentially for several days. The folks we spoke to said they're ready to ride out the storm under those conditions. Again, dangerous rip currents expected all up and down the eastern seaboard, and the advisory for everyone on the East Coast is to stay away from the beaches as much as possible. Back to you.